What's up YouTube? Jeff back again. Today I have a very exciting Samsung video for you guys, and today talking Galaxy S24 Ultra. First big update is on the horizon. We're waiting for it. Today I'm going to be talking about some of the new test builds that have arrived on the servers, so we kind of know the time frame of when this is coming, some predictions from some various leakers. We have a pretty good idea. Also some of the things that Samsung is trying to troubleshoot in the update, so you guys can let me know if you've experienced any of these issues. Mainly a lot of things I've seen in the comments from various people, so kind of aggregating all those issues I've seen. Talk about some of the things that Samsung is working on. Before we get started, I do want to thank my son Jonathan. We got the dinosaurs hanging out as usual, the Brachiosaurus and the Inosaurus right here. They'll be hanging out in the video. And also, if you haven't signed up for my newsletter yet, check out the link in the pinned comment description. You can also follow me on my other socials, but the newsletter is a great way to interact with the channel. Also, if you're new to the channel, we do mystery boxes for every Samsung launch. You get a free case, cleaning kit, desktop phone stand. All you have to do is use our Samsung link to order. We send out inbox info about the new mystery boxes for each launch. So if you're signed up for the newsletter, you'll get it first. We just finished the S24 Ultra program. We closed it down. I may reopen it at some point. If you're interested, stay tuned for that. But we'll definitely have it open for the Fold, the Flip, the S25, and going forward. So sign up if you're interested. Pin comment and description. So let's go ahead and talk about this update. We know that we're getting a big update for the Galaxy S24 series. Not just the Ultra, but the S24, S24 Plus, etc. And Tarun Vats, who is one of the popular Samsung software leaguers on Twitter, definitely recommend giving him a follow. I've talked about him on the channel quite a bit. New One UI 6.1 test build this morning from AXB3 to AXB4. You can see right here, he gets this inside firmware information while Samsung's testing the builds. That was earlier today. And then he went AXB2 to AXB5 for India and Europe. So they're very actively working on this, and also the China server as well. So he predicted a few days ago that we would get the update in the next few weeks, and also that One UI 6.1 would start rolling out to the S23 series and older Samsung phones when we get to maybe the middle of March, beginning to middle of March. So it does look like the update's coming for the S24 series very soon, but the question is, what is Samsung working on? So here's a couple of things we know are coming. First of all, there's going to be a new Vivid mode. I talked about this in one of my previous videos. So if you go into the settings here, you'll see, if you scroll down to display, there's going to be a new Vivid mode under screen mode where you can actually change the vividness of the display. Right now it just goes natural or vivid, and as many people have lamented on the S24 series, there doesn't appear to be a huge difference between the two. So they're going to allow you to basically change how vivid you want it. You can basically get it back to how it looked on the S23 series, or even going all the way back to the S21, where the display was basically calibrated to be super saturated, super vibrant, which a lot of Samsung users really like that. So they're going to bring back that for sure. The next thing is camera improvements. We know we're getting some camera improvements. The camera definitely needs some work, particularly at the 5 and 10 times zoom levels, in my experience at least, in that particular department in low light, really needs some work in terms of the algorithm being used to do the processing. Now the main camera, just regular 1x or taking like a portrait photo or macro shot, I've had great experiences so far, but when using the zoom capability so far, they've not been as good as advertised, and I know some other people have some complaints about that as well. There's also the issue that some people have had with this zooming, it changes the camera that's being used when you do a zoom, and it doesn't do it appropriately. So there's a lot of people on Twitter talking about this, and in the comments, Samsung is supposed to be working on a fix for those issues as well when it comes to the camera stuff. Now, there are a couple of the issues I've experienced that I'm hoping Samsung will work on. There's no confirmation of this yet, and a lot of you have chimed in the comments of my previous videos saying you've also had some of these issues. One of those issues is touch response. So very often on my Galaxy phone, you guys might have saw it earlier in the video, when I go to do a gesture or I touch a folder, it doesn't happen all the time. It's actually just, in the course of daily use and multitasking, the folder will not open if you touch it. And I'm not talking about, like you saw right here, I touch it off to the side. Of course, it shouldn't open. I'm talking about I touch it right there on the top and it doesn't open properly all the time. Also with the gestures, sometimes you go to do a gesture and the gesture doesn't necessarily work properly because of the sensitivity settings, or it potentially could be, of course, a display hardware issue, but I don't think so. I have 3 different S24 Ultras. They all exhibit some level of this, although it does seem specific to the S24 Ultra because I do also have, I just got in the S24 Plus here, which I haven't even made any videos on yet, and I've been using that a little bit. It doesn't seem to have the issue. The other issue I've had is gaming. So I play a lot of Pokemon Go with my son at home and also just kind of walking around parks, public parks, stuff like that. A lot of lag and crashes with Pokemon Go. Sometimes that's to be expected when you have a new chip. Of course, the app developer may need to optimize as well, but there seem to be quite a few mobile games. People were talking about specifically they're playing Pokemon Go as well and having some crashes, things like that, and other apps. So it seems like Samsung needs to do some optimization, talk to some of these developers, because it's very frustrating when you have a brand new phone that you paid a lot of money for and you can't play your favorite games. The other thing is Android Auto. I talked about this in the previous video. I don't know that Samsung's working on a fix for this one either because it hasn't been mentioned yet, but Android Auto does not work perfectly with every single car manufacturer. Lots of people have noticed some crashes. With my particular Audi SQ8, it's working fine. My wife has an Audi e-tron. Hers was not working for a while. We had to clear the cache on the app, reinstall. It worked okay. So that's what I suggest you do if you have that Android Auto issue, but we don't know if Samsung's working on any sort of fixes for that. Overall, I really would just like to see mainly the camera fixes, obviously the display vivid mode to give people some choices there, and then some improvements to just the sensitivity and the gesture settings with the actual One UI home. I think that's a change they could make that would be great at the end of the day. Now, battery life has been great for me. All of those things have been great. Performance, aside from gaming, like I said, like to see an improvement with the gaming, but that could also be an optimization issue with some of the games. The last thing I'll mention, and there's no evidence that Samsung's working on this either, but a lot of people have complained about this. If you go into your lock screen and always on display, many of you have noticed and complained about the fact that the lock screen and always on display, you cannot get the brightness to adjust with the always on display. So if you're in here and you want to, let's say I have it on always here to always show, and you want to adjust your brightness. You used to be able to adjust the brightness, right, on your always on display, but you can't do that anymore. So even if you turn off show lock screen wallpaper, you cannot choose your brightness. It's always set to auto brightness. A lot of people are frustrated about this, and I get it. I do understand. We used to be able to change the brightness and make it a lot brighter, but I think they're worried about burn-in because you can show the wallpaper. I know you have the option to remove it, but I don't know that they're going to fix this. I know a lot of people have posted on forums and complained to Samsung. I don't think it's coming in the next update, to be honest with you. So I know a lot of people are upset about it. I would not expect it to arrive in the next update. Maybe if people complain, they'll give you the option if you have show lock screen wallpaper turned off. Let me know what you guys think about that. Is it a good idea to allow people to crank up the brightness as much as they want when you have the wallpaper showing? Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Some more updates coming for the S24 Ultra, lots more tutorials. Stay subscribed to the channel so you stay up on all the Samsung news. Again, if you want to subscribe to the newsletter, get future information about mystery boxes, other customization stuff that I send out, icon packs, wallpapers that I'm using, all that good stuff. Appreciate you guys watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot.